Hello, hello. Welcome to the second in our series for Zero Waste Month of Ask the Zero Waste Organizer. I have some follow-ups to last week, and I'd love some more questions. I also have some notes. If we have no questions, I've got some good stuff to share with you. So let's see, where should I start? I think I'll just launch into a follow-up from last week, which there was a question about toothbrushes. TerraCycle. Are y'all familiar with TerraCycle? Super interesting. I was trying to think of a way to succinctly describe what they do, but I couldn't do it. So you've probably seen the bins. I know that the juice place, what's it called? Oh man, I can't think of the name, but they have a bunch of locations here around the Bay Area, and they make delicious juice if you're over there. But they have a bin, a TerraCycle bin. You can also order a TerraCycle bin for your home or your school or your community, any communities that you have, and they collect a load of different things, so many different things, including the caps to the juice, chip wrappers, toothbrushes. Here, we're getting to it. I can't even remember the list. It's so long. I'm sorry. I had hoped to remember it, but I don't. Check them out. They're based in New Jersey, my home state. And they also, I'm going to get to this in a little bit, have a relatively new venture. I don't know how long it's been around. I learned about it recently, called Loop. I made a note here. They're in 5 countries, but I think 6 because the map on their website has Australia as well. But it's the US, Canada, the UK, France, Japan, I'm not counting on here, and Australia. And what it is that they partnered with a lot of consumer brands like Colgate and Unilever and the folks that make Clorox and Gillette and all these brands, Haagen-Dazs, that they're making. They look to be aluminum containers that you can buy the product in those containers and then bring them back, closing the loop. And I did a little digging this week, and I learned that they are connected with TerraCycle. Super, super interesting. I don't have one near me, but you can look on their website and see if there's one near you. There's like Kroger and Walmart, and I can't remember the other big box stores, but super, super interesting. I just love this because I feel like it's getting the concept of zero waste and closed loop sort of consumption to a mass scale, which is really what we need. So it's really exciting. I'm sure that it's not perfect, what is, but it's super, super interesting. I actually sent an email out to my sort of zero waste sisters, and I haven't heard back from them to see what they think of it, but I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I would love to buy some ice cream in an aluminum container, and I am totally the person who would bring that container back. Speaking of return containers, I wanted to share with you some other resources of zero waste companies for things like toiletries and cleaning products and all the things. So I was just doing some laundry before 4 o'clock because that saves the energy. And I have not dish soap. You don't put dish soap in the laundry. Laundry soap, powdered laundry soap from Feel Good. So you can check them out. That's really interesting. There's also package free. They ship from New York, I believe. I know we have the shipping, but sometimes it's hard to sort of hedge which is worse and which is better. For me, it's always I'd rather have the shipping than buy a plastic container. There was a question that came up from Erica Friday from Ready Set Mom, so I'm going to get to that a little later about soft plastics. And if anybody else has any questions, feel free to pop in, and I'll just kind of riff and rave up until then. So I was talking about Feel Good, package free. There's a bunch of zero waste stores here popping up in the Bay Area. I know there's some in Portland, there's some in New York, there's some in Vigo, Spain. So I love to see this movement of things, of stores and people getting more interested in zero waste is so important for the future of our earth, and also to kind of give people a different perspective on what they're buying. Some people are like, what's the difference if I recycle? What's the difference if I buy this thing in plastic or not? I don't know. To me, there's a difference. It's caring about, it's taking care in all your purchases and being considerate. There's also the argument about glass because it's heavier to ship versus plastic. Yeah, that's true. I don't know the answer. All I know is that for me, the right decision is to buy in glass and to buy reusables and to patronize organizations, businesses that are aligned with my values of reuse, like Feel Good. Maybe I'll run and grab what I have, but they send the dish soap, not only for the dishwasher, but also for the liquid soap in a glass jar that when you're done with it, you give it back to them. There's also Plain products, which is spelled Plaine, and they will send you shampoo and conditioner and face oil, which I love, the face oil. And you can use that on your body too. They also have body lotion, and it comes in an aluminum bottle. It looks like a regular shampoo bottle, but it's aluminum with a plastic pump, but you use the pump again and again. Again, back to the single-use thing. Put a pin in that. We'll be back on that in a sec. But they come and collect or you can ship the aluminum containers. I have, because I live here and there's a company in Berkeley that sells the products. So when they come and drop off for me, which they arrive in an electric car, the delivery, I can give them back the aluminum containers. But you can ship them as well. So I think the concept is about single-use plastics. And that was the question that came from Erica at Ready, Set, Moms. If you haven't checked her out, super cool, really great. She does a lot of lives and she's super interesting and has a lot of great tips and tricks to share. But she asked, and I'm going to look so I don't get her question mangled. Oh, she was asking about the bins in the store that collect the soft plastics, like a bread bag or, tortilla bag, any of those plastic bags, not the ones that are foil lined, like they're dark. If you can see through them, they don't have to be clear, but if you can see through them, they're okay to be recycled. If you cannot see through them, they're completely opaque, then they have to go in the trash. Some of the chip bags, or most of the chip bags are like that, except for the one with the TerraCycle, like the, I can't remember anything today, I'm so sorry. Happy July, you know what I'm talking about, the chip bags. I have one here just now. They take them back in TerraCycle. That's another thing that TerraCycle takes back. But the bread bags, let's just call them bread bags. You can recycle those. Her question was, now that you can recycle those, she's found that it's loosened her standards for avoiding plastic. And I think that that's really something to be careful for. Now, don't make yourself crazy. I do this all the time. I make myself insane in the store at Trader Joe's, talking to myself like, do I buy the organic ones that come in a plastic bag? Or do I get the conventional ones that don't? It can make you crazy. So I think you just have to make the right decision for yourself to not make yourself crazy. But if you have the headspace, it's better to not buy anything in plastic. Really. And single-use plastic. That's a really important distinction because plastic is an incredible material. So I don't want to say the plastic is terrible. It's not. It's amazing. However, to use it once and throw it away within minutes, sometimes even seconds, like a straw or something that comes wrapped in a plastic and you pop it open and you throw it out, that just hurts my heart. So I think it's about, and every decision has to be right for you and your family, if you have one, your housemates, whatever. But when using plastics, think about how long you're going to use it. I know they use plastics in medical procedures and put it in your body, of course. It's great stuff. Anyway, what else can I tell you? Does anybody have any questions? It's hard for me to see. It's super small there, but I can see if there are questions come through, but I want to welcome anybody who's here, and I apologize if I don't point you directly. The letters are so small. I want you to think about the sort of today's call to action is about one thing that you can do to reduce your landfill trash. So if you kind of take a peek in your bin, or maybe you're kind of mindful about what you're actually throwing out when you're throwing it out, that will tell you a lot. You know, if there's a lot of like take out coffee cups, or in my case, there's a lot of chip bags because we buy snacks and those aren't recyclable. Very few can be recycled. So anyway, I'm mourning the the chip bags in my garbage. Yeah, for me, it's like plastic bags that are not clean or dry. I do tend to dry them. I have one of those little wooden base things with the prongs that sit up there like chopsticks that stand up, and you can hang your bags on it. I found it on the street, actually. I was super excited about it. I washed it, and then we're using it here. Instead of using the paper towel holder, which we don't use a ton of paper towels, but sometimes you just need a paper towel. Excuse me, cat puke. Anyway, so I use that to clean them, but sometimes they're just gross, or they've had like something on there that you don't want in your sink. Or sometimes I don't have the bandwidth. I'll be totally honest. So I do throw away a good bit of plastic bags that came from food products. Hi, Reggie. Reggie the cat is making an appearance. Okay. Call to action is audit of your trash. And you don't have to pull it out or weigh it or really even look at dig around in it. But look at it and just be mindful about when you're throwing stuff away. And that's going to tell you a lot. How can you change what you're buying? How can you change what you're not recycling? Maybe there's something in there that can actually be the recycling. Maybe it's the soft plastics. Seems to be the theme today. Anybody have any questions? It'd really be more fun if we had some more questions. I answered the question about the toothbrushes, and we got the soft plastics question answered. I don't see any more questions. So I guess I'll just wrap it up. Doesn't have to be long. It's only been 13 minutes already. Holy smokes. I'm gonna look at my notes here. We talked about the toothbrushes. Ooh, I want to do a couple of plugs for local, they might even be national companies that do zero waste deliveries. Silo Pantry, learned about that through my friend Carolyn. They're local here, but you can get all kinds of grains, dried fruit. They have dried fruit? They might not. Nuts, sometimes eggs, sometimes meat products like chopped meat, or I get soup chickens there, stewing hens there because I love to make chicken soup. It's really delicious if I do say so myself. You gotta add the parsnips, just saying. They have meat, they have eggs, they have dairy, they have, I think, pasta, loads of grains, teas. They have coffee, I don't know. Sometimes they have oil. They have great stuff. Anyway, Solo Pantry. So check them out. Put quotes in it when you Google it, because that's not going to get you very far. You can buy in bulk. Local stores that do it. Does Whole Foods, are they doing it again? I know with pandemic they stopped doing it, but they had bulk. Of course, you have to grab a plastic bag for it, but you're going to use that plastic bag loads of times, or maybe you're going to bring your own bread bag and use that. Just saying on that. So you can buy in bulk. Local markets, I mean, you know where to get them here locally. I think Rainbow, other ABS, organizations like that. Of course, you can shop at your farmers markets. That is really great to know what's in season too, to actually meet the people who are attached to the food that you're eating, who are growing the food that you're eating. I love our local one here. Thanks to Angie, who got that set up for the one near, it's right in my neighborhood in the Sunset. and there's farmers markets all over. You can Google them, where they are near you. I love those. And then that's for sort of food, and then thinking about clothes and things like that. Adam and I went on Friday thrift shopping. I had sold a bunch of stuff and had a big credit, and we went to Crossroads and had a really good time getting some clothes from there. Some things were new with the tags, but I kind of like thrift store shopping because it limits my choices. Like, I'd rather go to a thrift store that has this really wide breadth of styles. It's a little frustrating, of course, when you find something amazing and it's slightly too big or slightly too small, but it kind of helps you hone in on your style also. Like, versus going into a store that has, like, I don't know how many styles that they have, something things, and it's all in similar colors. You know, it's pretty, that's awesome, no disrespect to retail, but I do love me a thrift shop. And a clothing swap. More on that later, because next week's there's a clothing swap with a bunch of friends that I'm so excited about. So I'll report back after that. And if you're into designers, there's The Real Real, which is super great. And I believe they're taking vintage stuff too. There's organizations like Lululemon that has a program called Like New. And you can basically bring them back things that you're not wearing, and they will give you credit for them. So they have a sort of menu of things, like a tank top is worth this much money, and the jackets I think are worth the most, shorts, whatever. All their stuff, they're taking it back. And then you get a credit. And from the credit, you can shop for new stuff, or you can shop from their Like New website, which has a lot of stuff. You got to know what you're looking for, but I don't know. For me, it works better than a limited thing, as I mentioned. Let me take a look at my list here and probably wrap it up. And unless there's any questions from the crowd here, feel free to also DM us if you have a question or a clarifying question or an original question from what you don't know what to do with. So ThredUp. Maybe I'll end with ThredUp. I also use ThredUp. Love it. And my local consigners. I'm kind of always doing the circuit. I don't shop that much, but I like to sell stuff. So I'm kind of rotating the what I wear a lot. And maybe that'll be fun to do an Instagram live on. We can look at my closet if we want and talk about the muscle that I talk about a lot with clients, which you kind of hone this muscle on whether or not you're going to read that book again or at all. Even the ones from the library, I frequently take out a book in the library and like kind of thumb through it, and then it sits here for a while and I'm like, I'm not going to read that. And it's okay. I can go get it another time or borrow it from a friend, whatever. But just to reduce the clutter around the house, like, I think it's kind of wishful thinking sometimes of what books I'm going to read or what clothes I'm going to wear, or does that really fit, or I don't plan on losing weight, but like some people do. It's like, I'm going to lose the weight and get into that thing again. Are you really going to do that? And is this just being depressing? Anyway, more on that, about the muscle that it takes to kind of get in tune with yourself on what you're going to use, what you're going to keep at a clothing swap. That dress, are you really going to wear that? Clothing swap has a minimal pressure. You can just take it and bring it back to the next clothing swap if you don't wear it. Anyway, I'm going to end with ThredUp. Like them a lot. You can print a label, you set up an account, you print a label from their website, and then ship your stuff to them. It's got to be clean. Think about, like, would you offer it to somebody, to a friend? You know, they don't want stuff with a stain on it. They probably want it to have tags on it, but I don't think that's a deal breaker. Thank you. I see a comment here. Really appreciate it. So send them good stuff. It doesn't even have to be that good, but it should be clean, of course, and stuff that you would offer to a friend. Don't send them your socks. You could maybe send them a bra if it was new. Anyway, send them some stuff, and then they post it on the web. They put it up on their website, and they give you a credit for it. And then with the credit, you can shop. I didn't even do this on purpose. I got this sweater on there. It's a cashmere sweater from Marc Jacobs. I was going to say I'm not so into brands, but I kind of think I am. Sorry, full disclosure, I'm going public with that. Anyway, I like to get quality goods. So it's this awesome cashmere sweater with end pockets and a cardigan. It's right up my alley. And so I spent, a bunch of money on it. I don't even remember how much it was, but it certainly was a fraction of the price at retail. And I love it. And I'd much rather have that than like the 6 t-shirts and 2 pairs of shorts or whatever it was that I'm not wearing. So I hope you found this helpful. Take a look at what you're throwing out and see what you might be able to either reduce on or switch up to reusables, or if you want some help, reach out, let us know. We'd love to help. We love these questions. Hope you found this helpful, and tune in next Friday when we'll be talking about more ways to achieve zero waste. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. Lots of love.